There are about 18,000 people living in Morwell, one of Victoria's country centres. Most of them are married. A lot of them are teenagers. Some of them are deserted wives. Very few of them are spinsters. But in the offices of the local Anglican church, spinsterhood is achieving a new status. The champion of the new minority group is Nancy Drew, the local deaconess and welfare officer. Miss Drew is in her mid-40s, a spinster, of course, a virgin, and proud of it. And she wants other women in the same boat to be the same. She may even emerge as the leader of a new spinsters' liberation movement, but not for all spinsters. Miss Drew's little red book, The Art of Being Single, is not for the swinging singles, the ones who've opted out of marriage into the permissive society, but the maiden aunts of this world, the forgotten minority, the ones who traditionally have had to sit at home by the fire with their knitting. In short, Miss Drew's message is forget the knitting and enjoy yourself. Miss Drew, do you actually enjoy being single?
Yes, I do. I lead a very interesting life and I love it really.
You don't feel just slightly disappointed that you've never married, that you have
No, I'm quite past the stage where it worries me at all. I enjoy my life as it is.
Did you ever want to be married?
Well, when you see all your friends getting married, you do think about it when you're younger, but I don't think about it very much now. Some of my married friends are disappointed that I haven't found anybody, but it doesn't worry me. Well, here we are at last with the tea. I'm sure you must be all ready for a cup by now. I think perhaps I better pour yours first, Glass, as you're the one that has the black tea.
Miss Drew is what you might perhaps describe as a well-adjusted spinster, and most of her friends are too. Her main aim is to tell other maiden aunts how to be spinsters, virgins, and enjoy it. Miss Drew, you say you're leading a perfectly well-adjusted single life and that your friends are the same.
Yes.
Why did you feel it necessary then to write a book about singlehood?
Well, you see, I'd read a lot of marriage guidance books in connection with my work as a welfare officer, and as a result of that, I began to feel how unfair it was that such a little bit had been written to help the single person.
Well, in what way do you feel the single person needs help?
Well, they need to be able to accept their situation and to cope with their life. And I feel that if something's written about it, they can read the book and they can think about it and come to some sort of terms with it if they haven't done so. Though many people, single people, have come to terms.
We just talked to some of you others. Let's
Yes, Bill.
Helen. Have you come to terms with the situation, do you think?
Yes, I think so. I think that this happens gradually. It's more inclined to happen in your 20s, I think, that you begin to adjust to the idea of perhaps not being married and to accept the idea to a certain extent so that you make some adjustments in your life to it.
Have you at any time felt unhappy about not being married?
No, I don't think so, not at all.
Do you want to be married?
I think to be happily married is the ideal situation, and that everyone would wish this for their friends and for everybody, but if this is not to be, it's the same as perhaps not having the job that you may have wanted, or the opportunity to travel, or something like this. It's something you must accept and make the best of.
Miss Drew, you've made a point of saying that what you've written about in your book is for single people without any sexual experience,
That's
virgins.
right. Yes, that's right.
Why should there be a difference?
Because I think the people with sex experience have really tasted a bit of what marriage is like, and they're longing after that. Whereas if you haven't had any sex experience, then you're not thinking about it and you're not wanting it, and therefore you're much more emotionally stable than if you have had any sex experience. It's much easier to adjust to a single life if you have remained a virgin.
Well, are there then perhaps added frustrations in being single and perhaps being sexually celibate?
Well, I think you have to find socially acceptable sublimations, such as working with children, if you're that way inclined, or leading some kind of interesting career or profession that brings its own rewards. I sometimes find, because I do a little bit of public speaking, that married women will come up to me afterwards when I've spoken about my work as a welfare officer and be openly envious. They say I'm stuck at home with a whole pile of dirty chores and little children, and I don't have any of these interesting things to do. So you can't have everything.